What is up, everybody? Jake and Joey here, and though you can download a demo for Street Fighter 6 right now, Joey took a little trip down, had a date with Mr. Capcom, and got to play a little more than we can play. So Joey, I want to hear all about this. Street Fighter 6, I'm really excited for it. What did you get to play? What was in this demo? And what did you play it on?
So I played it on PlayStation 5. I played it on PS5 dev kits they had there at their offices. I got to play some characters that weren't in the demo. 2 characters, the first 3 chapters of their story modes, their arcade modes. Ken, who's now a domestic terrorist, I guess, or is being accused of being a terrorist. And I'm like, whoa, that's crazy stuff. And the other character, the new character, Lily, who I was a big fan of, actually. I love her blunt weapons that she just throws around, and she's got a little cyclone move that's so cool. And as somebody who doesn't really play Street Fighter games, Jake, the only Street Fighter game I've ever owned was the one on 3DS, the Street Fighter 4.
Good choice.
Yeah, which unfortunately many years ago I traded in for some stupid reason, and I wish I still kept that, because how many fighting games do you get on handhelds like that? It was legendary, right?
Yeah.
I also got to check out more of the World Tour mode, which was my favorite part of the entire thing. So we're going to save that for last, but I want to talk about first just the new characters I got to play as. JP was the one that we got to play for the versus mode. I played against the CPU. A level 4 CPU, we could go up to level 7, but I'm not ready for level 7. I am not ready for that. JP is very interesting, and I can already tell you he's going to be patched pretty soon, because I feel like, I don't know if it was just because the CPU level I was playing was low, but he has a grab move. He uses a magic spell to grab you from afar, and he just carries you and then smashes you on the ground. Not once did my CPU dodge that. So if I was about to die, I just pulled. That was my get out of jail free card every single time. But
does it work at any distance, or do they have to be far away?
Distance.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to study that move. I haven't seen this. JP seems like a cool character. I don't know how much you know about JP, but he's the classic hates stains on his clothes, kind of proper guy. He has a cat named Sybil. Into that. I've been trolling the Street Fighter 6 website, reading all the character bios. Really nice looking website if anybody out there wants to go check it out. But something that kind of is a good segue into, so you're doing these battles, just normal battles. Did you get the sense that this game just looked like presentation? I just want to bask in this for a second. It's amazing, right?
It is. I love the RE engine. I love it so much, and they totally used it to their advantage. You can tell this game is running on that engine, but it still has that Street Fighter style. Because I feel like since Street Fighter 4, that's kind of been their definitive look, you know? Every character just has super exaggerated features. They converted that perfectly into the RE engine, and it runs pretty well in performance mode. We could switch between quality and performance. If you played the demo, you know quality mode is just straight up 30 FPS all the way, but performance mode, you just gotta play it in performance mode.
Oh, 100%. And I just feel like there's something about this game where when I booted up that demo, and it's you pick your 2 characters, and in the level I picked, at least, you see them enter the arena, and the bottom hand corner, it's giving you their stats, it's their height and their weight and stuff, and I'm oh, this is sick. You get to pick beforehand if you want commentators, and if they're gonna talk during your fight, and there's just all these little accoutrements that, here's a deep cut for you. So Ryu. You pick Ryu. Every character obviously has a musical theme. I think this is so fun. Ryu, the past couple of games, they've been casting him as this kind of stoic warrior guy, but that's never who he was. He was always a little jollier than that. And now he's got this music theme, and I can't believe it. I'm oh, they know, dude. They know. It's this. He's a weird jazzy boy. It's it's so good. So all those things really please me, and I feel like you probably got to see a lot more of that because of all these new characters and stuff. I'm stuck over here seeing Rio and Luke.
Exactly. I think the only real new characters I played as were JP, of course, and Lily, who's super cool, I think. I'm not really good at describing fighting game characters and their stats, and just oh, I like how many frames it takes for her to hit this. I don't know how well to explain it. I just like her. She's super cool. She's super agile. Her super special art moves are super awesome as well, with just her tornado move. I used it on a truck, because there's a bonus stage where you're beating up a truck, because you have to have that with Street Fighter. It's not a Street Fighter game unless you're just going to town on a bunch of wrecked vehicles. But, as a noob of Street Fighter, I liked playing as Ken a lot, and Ken and Ryu, those are like the easier characters to handle. The Lily is also very easy to handle. I love the modern controls scheme, Jake.
I was just gonna ask Joey, is that what you were using?
That's the only one I was using. They encouraged us to try all three. They had fight sticks set up there too, which was really cool. I think if you had a PS4 fight stick, you can use that on PS5. But I was just like, nope. I'm only doing modern. I can't do anything else. Like, that was always the crux with the Street Fighter games for me, is like, I just want a Hadouken. I just want a Hadouken.
Yeah.
And now all I have to do is stand still and press triangle. So I'm gonna be a super annoying player. Like, if I invite someone over and I'm just Hadouking them because I'm that guy, right? But yeah, I really like the new control method. It doesn't make the game like super easy at the same time. There's still quite a few combos you gotta memorize. When I played as Cammy, we could only play as her in the combo trial mode, and I was still struggling getting like the more advanced combos down, even with that modern control method. So I like that they're really trying to bring in new players in with Street Fighter 6. I feel like that's always the goal when it comes to sequels of games. Like, yeah, you want to appeal to the old crowd, but you also gotta get more people on board, and I feel like that's what they're doing really well with this and the modern control set.
Yeah, the modern control setting is exciting. I feel like for the past maybe like decade, I hear about, oh, this is how we're gonna onboard new players into the fighting games, and we don't know until it's like been a few months after release if it works or not. Having played it in the demo, I actually like this control scheme quite a bit. And it's not just like the auto combo thing that a lot of games do. Dragon Ball FighterZ had something like this, where if you just like keep pressing attack, it would shuffle through a bunch of different things, but instead it kind of just takes things. So it's like, okay, you have I think it's like a high, a mid, and a low attack, and those are kinds of like their own buttons, instead of it being like high punch, high kick, low punch, that kind of thing.
Yeah, there's like
a special
light,
button.
Yeah, there's like light attack, there's strong attack, and I think there's kicking. I believe that's what it is. And yeah, like the triangle button you were saying is the special attack.
Okay.
Like, if you just want a Hadouken, you just stand there and go Hadouken. But also like if you're facing upward or facing downward, it's kind of like the smash attacks in Smash Bros. But it still does not play anything like Smash Bros. It still plays like Street Fighter for those concerned, for those who haven't played the demo.
Yeah, and I think most like fighting game people obviously know that doing the input is such a small part of the game. It's, you know what I mean? It's like then you can actually learn what you're supposed to do once you know how to do everything. So hopefully there's a little barrier of entry there that we can just lower down a little bit. But I think this is actually a good segue into talking about the World Tour, because when I played the demo for that, it kind of made it seem like, so they force you to start in the modern control setting, and then later they let you change. But the way the game explained it to me when I played the demo, I'm hoping you can shed some light on this, is that they're saying that they'll kind of like dole out advanced mechanics to you as you're playing World Tour to maybe kind of help you wean you off the modern controls or give you a little bit more control down the line. Do you have any insight into this?
That's kind of how it is. Yeah, I still only stuck with the modern controls, but you're definitely start out. It's like a Metroidvania, I guess.
Oh,
not really, but like it's you start off with like just a few special moves, maybe two, and you start off using only Luke's like fighting stances, and because Luke is your coach, it makes sense, right, that you'd be fighting like him. I also love the character creator because I gave myself a wicked pompadour with a beard, and I made myself super tall and lanky because I'm a 6'5" giant, right? But I didn't want it to be like super realistic, so I still had like big hands and like wild biceps and stuff, because I still wanted to look like a Street Fighter character. Getting into it, it really was.
Hold on, before you get to that, I want to do a call out to Capcom about this character creator.
Okay.
Because I have a complaint.
Okay.
And I need it to be addressed. Okay, I don't know if you've seen the monstrosities that people have been creating. Have you seen the monstrosities?
No, I haven't.
It's all over the internet, Joey. Everybody's creating these disgusting monsters in this character creator. And what I need, and I went in there and I tried to make my character, it is too easy to make a Freakazoid, and it's too hard to make a hottie. Okay, so what I need Capcom to do, take my advice right now, is that I want to adjust some sliders. I want to kind of like make my character, but there should be like a button you can press that's like, okay, now make them hot. And if I press that button, it takes like the idea of my character and then goes, okay, now here's what you really want. I go, oh, thank you. That's it. That's all I need.
Yeah, that's fair. I totally see that. Like, I don't know. I looked pretty hot. My character looked
You did
at
a good
least
job?
in
All right.
my opinion. I don't know. I'll have to show you my footage later. But what I got to play up to the new content was Chinatown. So like if you played to the demo, to my knowledge, the demo stops like right before you hit you're able to go to Chinatown. In this demo, your character, or not in this demo, in this game, your character is trying to become the best, the fighter, the best. Be the very best that no one ever was. And you do that by meeting different Street Fighter characters. I got to meet Luke, of course. He's the coach. He's the guy that brings you to the new stuff, right? But then I got to meet Chun-Li in Chinatown, who's training the members of Chinatown to like defend themselves against this gang of people who wear boxes for helmets.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah.
They can jump you. You got to be ready. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like an RPG in that sense, because if they attack you, they get bonus damage. But if you attack them first, they take a lot of damage off as well. I really liked this mode as somebody who has a soft spot for checklist open world games, which is kind of a good thing and it's kind of a bad thing. Because I was talking to other people at the event too, some of them were feeling like, okay, this is getting really repetitive. Because it is just a lot of wandering around. You can breeze through this campaign mode sort of deal if you only stick to the main story stuff, but the game encourages you, hey, go around, fight other people. That's how you level up. That's how you get money, right? But it does get kind of repetitive near the end. Like, I think I played this mode for about an hour and a half. And near like the last 30 minutes, I was kind of like, okay, I think I'm ready to move on to something else. I still enjoyed it for what it was, because there's value in games where you don't have to play them for hours and hours on end. World Tour mode definitely feels like a kind of mode where you can play it in short bursts and get some value out of it. I think what really drove me to, fight dudes in the streets and whatnot, challenge people to battles, was getting that money so I can get out of those training outfits and get into a suit with a tie and stuff.
100%. In the demo, only thing they let me buy was a pink hat. Disrespect. Oh, awful. I felt the same way. I was like, man, I want to go to another town just so I can see their clothing store. Is that how it works? Is there like a different store in the...
I was looking for shops in Chinatown and there weren't any. Like, I didn't find any. There was only in like the main town square was like the only shop I could find, the only like food truck, the only clothing store. So that was a bummer. Like, I don't know if that's because they really just limited how much we could like explore during this preview. The cops are just blocking off areas for whatever reason. I didn't challenge any of the cops. I should have challenged the cops. Just imagine like walking, you see a dude fighting a cop, and it's just, yeah, it's crazy stuff. What I also liked is that some fighters that you encounter, they have conditions you can meet, like, hey, if you throw this dude down during the fight 3 times, you get like 400 extra zenny. Zenny is the currency. What a great name for a currency, Zenny. I love it.
Isn't that every Capcom game? They use like all the Capcom games they use Zenny.
I don't know. Do they?
I believe Monster Hunter is Zenny as well, and it's like their thing. Yeah. So there you go. But
definitely not in Resident Evil, but yeah.
No. Yeah.
Cool. So I thought it was really interesting. Like, I love characters. I love games where you can like build up your character and become like a super powerful menace, right? But another problem I noticed is that it doesn't seem to scale very well as you play through the campaign, because you could do a bunch of side stuff and level up really fast. And then when you get back to the main story, every character is like a level 3 still, and you're a level 15, and you're just going through all the enemies in the main story like in 1 or 2 hits. So there doesn't seem to be any scaling with like your character,
Do you get the sense that this campaign, this story, is like a big juicy thing on its own, or is this kind of done knowing that if you didn't have a lot of single player content, that you would get knocked for that in the reviews, as Street Fighter V famously did when it came out many years ago?
That's a very good question. What I want to know is how long is this World Tour mode? How many characters? Because I doubt you're going to meet every single Street Fighter character in the roster, because that would be like a very long campaign, which, hey, I'm not against, right? But I am kind of worried, like, this is just a little side thing, really. That's not like a big sort of, oh, play me. But what I do like, though, is how it does bring in the newcomers more so. The people like me who like those sort of open world games. And, it's also kind of a good way to get a hang of the controls and learn some methods before going into, like, fighting people online, or even fighting people in the CPUs in the arcade mode, right? Yeah, but like I said, my only concern is that it's gonna overstay its welcome. It's gonna become too repetitive, and the enemies just won't scale to your level, and then it would just be a breeze to go through. So, Yeah, I have some hopes for it, but I'm also still, it wouldn't surprise me if like when the reviews come out for this game, the World Tour mode is not received as like perfect because of the issues that I stated.
So as somebody who is like not gonna pick up every Street Fighter game, but you know, you're at this event, you're giving it a fair shot, do you feel that this met your expectations for what a Street Fighter game is? Or did it pull you in more than you expected, pull you in less? What's your what's your temperature after this event?
It totally pulled me in more, right? But I don't know if I would still like go out of my way and buy this game at release, because at the end of the day, like fighting games like this are still not my forte. They're still not like what I like anticipate in the gaming release cycle. But but I still like the moves that they're making here to bring in potentially new players with that modern control setting, with that World Tour mode, and it seems like this is shaping up to be a better game at launch than Street Fighter V was. Granted, I don't know exactly like what made Street Fighter V like not great at launch.
Oh,
From what
God,
I understand,
the list goes on, Joey. But please, yeah.
I don't know. I think Capcom is a different company now than they were when Street Fighter V came out. I think they've learned a lot better now.
Yeah, I would. From what I've seen, I tend to agree with you. I think this is honestly like a home run with anybody that even like remotely considers themselves a Street Fighter fan, just from what I've seen. But I'm definitely curious if they can make, there are some things that I've been wondering about. I'm like, if you're really trying to get everybody in on this thing, what are some things that they could do to like make that push a little harder? And I almost think my tip to them would be this. This might already exist, but there should be an online mode where it is you are using modern controls and everybody else you're fighting is also using modern controls. Boom.
Fair.
I think that would go a long way. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to. How scary is it to jump online in a game like this? Scary.
Pretty scary, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh no, you're telling me the other dude's using a fight stick? I'm screwed.
Exactly. That'd be a funny little icon. You see the fight stick? Oh no.
It's like when you're playing. It's like playing online shooters and like you're doing crossplay enabled. Oh no, they have mouse symbols. I'm done.
Yeah. Oh my God, that is great. But okay, I think we're gonna wrap this up though. Street Fighter 6. I'm extremely excited about it. Joey, is there anything off the top of your head now that you didn't get to say? Any last word?
I thought it was funny how I had to go to SF to play SF.
That is funny. Thank you for including that in this preview discussion.
Of course. Bye-bye.
Okay. All right, everybody. That is going to conclude Joey's date with Captain Com. Thank you so much for tuning in. That's not a thing, is it?
Captain Com, it is now. You made it a thing, and I accept it.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for tuning in. We might have more on Street Fighter in the future, but if we don't, just imagine me in my pajamas on the couch getting angry. That's pretty much the game. And then you've got it covered. So thanks again for tuning in. Street Fighter 6. Maybe we'll see more in the future. See you next time. Goodbye.